If y and x are directly proportional, then there is a ratio between x and y. This ratio is constant. And for this case that we have, this ratio is actually equal to 24 over 15 because they give us y is equal to 15 when x is equal to 24. Therefore, this must be equal to something as y when x is equal to 96. So what we need to solve is this equation. 24 over 15 is equal to 96 over y. Let's make some simplifications. This is going to be 4 when this is going to be 1. So when I multiply each side by y, what I'm going to have is y over 15 is equal to 4. And when I multiply each side by 15 too, y will be equal to 60. We have an inverse proportion here, so x times y must be constant this time. Therefore, y is equal to 15, when y is equal to 15 and x is equal to 6, this gives us actually this ratio too. And what they are asking is, what is y equal to when x is equal to 12? So what we need to do is just solve this equation. When we divide 12 by 6, this is going to be 1 and this is going to be 2. So when I simplify these two, 16 will be left as 8, so y is equal to 8 here. Direct proportion or direct variation must be something like y over x is equal to k, which is going to be constant. There's no c, there's nothing else there. And in choice B, what I have is y is equal to 4x, which means that y over x is equal to 4. This is proportion, the direct proportion, so this is the answer. The question says that y varies inversely with the square of x, which is equal to something constant. Now let's see the rest of the question. Y is equal to 9 when x is equal to 5. So this must be equal to something else when x is equal to 4. Let's solve this question. What we have here is 9 times 25 is equal to 16 times y. Therefore, y is equal to 220. Okay, let's go slowly. Y times 16 is equal to 225. When I divide each side by 16, I have the result, which is y is equal to 225 over 16. He drives 20 miles in 15 minutes. How long would it take? So that's the question. To finish 120 miles. Let's solve this question. This is what we see is a direct proportion. Therefore, we can just say that this is equal to this. So that 20 times x is equal to 15 times 120. When 120 is simplified by 20, we have 1 here and we have 6 here. X is equal to 90 minutes. The graph of a direct proportion, direct variation, must be linear one. It must be linear so that it cannot be choices A and B. And the second one, it must pass through the origin like this or like this. And the only choice passing through the origin is D. ABC is a right triangle, so the sum of these three angles must be equal to 180 degrees. This is one thing. The other thing is, we know that since this is a right angle, A is equal to 90, so we know that B plus C is equal to 90 degrees. The other thing that we know is that the ratio of these two angles, B to C, is equal to 2 to 3. So let's call these two angles as 2K and 3K. So let's find these angles. 2k plus 3k is equal to 90, makes 5k is equal to 90, so k is equal to 18 degrees. Therefore, the small angle B is equal to 2 times 18, and C is equal to 3 times 18, which are respectively 36 and 54. Now what they are asking me is the smaller angle B, so it's 36. 4 workers complete a job construction in 14 days, and how many workers would we need to complete in 21 days? You will probably understand that the unit of this construction is work days. That's why we have to multiply these information with each other. So completing this construction would take 24 times 14 days, or how many workers, I don't know, times 21 days. So these two must be equal to each other. Let's solve this equation. When I simplify by 7, this is going to be 3, and this is going to be 2. When I simplify this, and for 24, here is going to be 1, and here is going to be 8. So x is equal to 8 times 2, which is equal to 16, which is the answer. Workers finish a job in 12 days. If we need to finish the job in 6 days, how many workers would it take? So this job would take 9 times 12 work days, which must be equal to the number of workers times 6 days. When I simplify 6 by 12, this is going to be 2, so x is equal to 2 times 9, which is equal to 18 workers we need. Y and x are directly proportional, so there is a proportion between y and x, and when x is equal to 45, y is equal to 60. And they want me to find out the y value when x is equal to 30. Let's do it. So let's find this y value. Y is equal to 60 over 45 is equal to y over 60. So what we need to do is 60 let me rewrite again so it's going to be easier to understand. Y over 60, we need to multiply each side by 60. 60 times 60 over 45. Let's divide this by 15. So I have 3 left here, and this is going to be 4. Let's simplify 60 and 3. This is going to be 1, and this is going to be 20. So y is equal to 20 times 4, which is equal to 80. Is directly proportional to the cube of x. So this is what I have, and this must be a number like k. When x is equal to 2, y is equal to 40. So I must not forget this 3. And what is the value of x when y is equal to 625? Let's calculate this. There must be an x value here. Let's do it. So 40 over 8 is equal to 625. Over x cubed. So 5, as we have here, is equal to 625 over x cubed. When I multiply each side by x cubed times x cubed, and divide each side by 5, and divide each side by 5, x's are gone, 5's are gone. This 5 simplifies 625, and x cubed is left as 125. When I take the cubic root of each side, the cubic root of 125 is equal to 5. Workers take 900 hours to finish, and how many hours would 6 workers take to finish this job? So the amount of work hours that we need is the multiplication of 18 times 900. We need 18 times 900 hours to finish this job, which is equal to 6 times x. Let's simplify each side by 6. this is going to be 3, and x is equal to 3 times 900, which is equal to 2700.